I have a dream. What a glorious day for America. I have a dream. We all know what speech that came from. Today is Martin Luther King Day, as well as the inauguration of Donald J. Trump. So I'm hoping everyone is full of hope and inspiration for what is to come over the next few years. I know I am. And those of you who may have had dreams, but you've really been knocked down, dragged down, and just beat down over the last few years, maybe things haven't went exactly as you had hoped. Today is the day. Get up, dust your knees off, dust off, and start, because it is a brand new day. It is time for You Incorporated. We've been working for about a month now on this Level Up plan, and today I want to discuss You Incorporated. The only way that you can level up your life is to treat your life like it's a business. You Incorporated. Just like a business, when you go to work, there are several different departments that makes that company flourish. You have marketing, you have accounting, you have sales, you've got janitors that has to keep things clean. What else do you have? You have management, you have worker bees. You've got all of these things that it takes to make a business successful. The same thing goes with your life. If you want to have a life worth smiling and talking about, if you want to live the life of your dreams, if you want to have the best year ever, you have to become You Incorporated. You need to plan your work and work your plan. A few days ago, I told you about how to get your affairs in order by, first of all, ordering one of those knock boxes, which is next of kin. A couple of things that I forgot to tell you in there is they do have a lot of different options. You can order a fireproof thing. You can order a light kit, a original knock box. You can order, if you have children, this is pretty cool. You can order labels for like all of your kids' school shots and all that different stuff. So they've got quite a bit in there. So I'll drop the link in this one as well. But you need to first get your affairs in order. Just like you would a business. You would have to file your articles of incorporation or your LLC, figure out how you're going to run your business. Well, the same thing goes with your life. You need to make sure that your affairs are in order in case something happens to you. You need to have a succession plan. If something happens to a CEO or a top manager or top sales guy, they're in trouble. So the same thing goes with you. You need to have a succession plan. Not only do you need to have a will, but you need to talk to an estate planner to figure out for your particular circumstance what you need so that your assets can flow smoothly with the least amount or zero taxation possible. So I really encourage you, even if you don't have a lot of assets, you need to set up your foundation first and get all those things done. You need durable power of attorney. You need to let your family know what your last wishes are. All of those things need to be done. So that is step one in getting yourself organized. Now at work, when you're walking through, hopefully you work in a clean environment and you've got a janitorial staff that comes in and makes sure that everything is clean, the trash is picked up, the bathrooms are clean, and all of that stuff. So you've got a nice work environment. So step two would be you need to sit down and create a home management plan so that you can get everything done. All of those things, your home maintenance, you need to schedule it and assign it to a family member or yourself to make sure that everything is done. Your bathrooms have to get cleaned, your beds need to be made, who's going to do the menus, you need to plan all of that, who's going to do the grocery shopping, get everything organized. Clean out your closets, clean out your drawers, clean those fans, put in there your AC filters. All of those things, you need to have a management plan in place. Next, just like in business, you've got all the different departments that we talked about. You have all these different departments of your life. You have relationships, and then you have subcategories underneath that. You have a spouse, you have a family, you have extended family members, you've got friends, long distance, local, you've got neighbors, you've got co-workers, you've got people that you work with in philanthropic endeavors. Those are relationships that need to be nurtured, so that's a department. Your finances, just like at work, you probably have a finance officer, a bookkeeper, different ones that take care of different aspects of your business. You need to do that for your finances. We're going to talk about that here shortly. You need to make sure that just like a business is interested in profitability, building wealth, investing, all of those things, you need to do it for your family as well. And we'll talk about the report cards. I do have a lot of information and some videos that I've created on my YouTube channel, Level Up in Business and Life with Nancy Gaskins, so you can go there as well to hear some of the previous videos that I've done. And then faith. Faith is another department. You need to make sure that you are developing, becoming a disciple like we're supposed to. You need to be studying the Word. You need to be praying. You need to be showing gratitude. All of those things, that's another category. Who knows what another category is? Health, fitness, and nutrition. You can't be any good to anybody if your body is not in good shape. You need to make sure that you've got all your doctor's appointments, and I've been falling off on that, so I've got to get busy on that this next week. All of your doctor's appointments should be set for the year. If you don't want to do it, you need to assign that, delegate that. In business, we delegate. So you need to have your list of all the things that need to happen, and you need to delegate and get those things taken care of. You need to make sure that your health, fitness, and nutrition is a priority. Fun. Fun is a category. Lifestyle, it's a category. All work and no play makes a dull person. That's a category that you need to work on. What else? Anybody? Health, fitness, and nutrition, your faith, your finances. What about making an impact? Philanthropy, your legacy. That's another category. What kind of impact do you want to make with your life? You need to plan your work and work your plan. That's another category. What else? Drop in the comments if you can think of something. What are these main categories of your life? Think of your life as a business, but you're going to have different categories than a business, but I'm trying to bring this to the forefront to kind of get you in the frame of mind so that you can see how all of this stuff can fit together. Now, you're not going to be able to work on every single aspect of your life 24/7. So what I suggest that you do, and what we're going to do in our group, is I'm going to have 90-day incremental steps, day by day, for every category that you can just kind of follow along and tick the blocks off that you have done that. And then over the course of 90 days, of course, you're going to do weekly reflections, monthly reflections, quarterly, to see how well that you have done. Y'all, if you will just do these simple things in the beginning and plan your life. Now, everything is not going to be a bed of roses. There's going to be obstacles along the way. There's going to be things that get in your way. And so it's going to be critical that you have some plan Bs and plan Cs and that you're flexible. But the fact is, people will not respect what you do not inspect. If you do not have a list, if you do not have an accountability partner, nothing is going to get done. You can keep it all here, but until you have a written plan like a business plan, nothing is going to go according to how you have it in your head for your dreams. I'm just telling you, write it down, make it happen. Write it down, make it happen. Now, let's talk about financial report cards, because we are talking about You Incorporated, and this is one of my areas of passion. We talked about report cards. You need to have a starting point. It doesn't matter how bad you are right now. Folks, does not matter. I don't care if you've got gazillions in the bank, if your credit is shot, if you have zero money, if you've lost your job. Does not matter. You have to have a starting point. So you have to create a set of financial statements for you personally. And the first thing that I want you to do is I want you to get an emergency fund of at least $1,000 cash. $1,000 cash. You do whatever it takes. Sell everything but the kitchen sink. Sell everything but your kids. Anything that ain't tied down is what Dave Ramsey says. Until you get $1,000 cash that you can put in a safe somewhere that you can get. Because, folks, emergencies happen. This is one of the most destructive things that destroy people and families and keep them in poverty for years and years and years, simply because they do not have an emergency fund, because it puts you behind. And I'm not talking about a credit card. I'm not talking about a credit card. I'm talking about cold, hard cash. Now, eventually, $1,000 is not going to save you from everything, but it's going to save you a lot of stress from a whole lot of little things. Eventually, what you will do is we will work towards getting 90 days and a 6-month emergency reserves. I know a lot of people back home are just devastated right now because one of the largest factories been in business for so long is in 90 days is going to be pulling out, closing. A lot of families, a couple of hundred families are going to be displaced. I guarantee you 95% of those people don't have any emergency funds. I bet they don't. I bet they are scrambling right now trying to figure out where their next meal is going to come from. They know, thank goodness, that they gave them about 90 days, I think, to plan. But chances are, the majority of folks are just like that. They don't plan for an emergency or if something was to happen to one of their jobs. They get all of their debt so that they are, if they're a married couple, all of their debt, they're leveraged up to here with both of their incomes. So if one of them loses their job, they are really, really screwed, literally. Because what are they going to do? They have to have both incomes in order to make it. So the next priority is do whatever it takes to get yourself out of debt. There's good debt and there's bad debt. So what you need to do is I want you to get all that paperwork together, and I want you to sit down and I want you to list out all your debt. And this is scary. Most people won't do it because they're afraid to see how bad off they really are. That's the honest to God truth. They are scared to death. They know it's bad. They just don't know how bad. So I want you to get out there and I want you to write down all of your debt, get the total balances, get your interest rates, get the dates that you are proposed right now, if everything stayed the same, when they will be paid off. And then we're going to work on a plan to get you out of debt as fast as possible. Because y'all, if that money is not going into your creditor's hands, it can go into your bank account and you can start building wealth and generational wealth for your family. Okay? So let's look at the debt. Let's get an emergency fund. Let's look at the debt. Next, let's figure out what your current net worth is. Net worth is basically all of your assets, whether they are owned and paid off or not, minus all of your liabilities, which is how much you owe. You subtract those two numbers, and that's going to give you your net worth. Now, for my intents and purposes, and some of y'all are going to raise 9 kinds of heck with me on this, but hear me out. You don't count clothes, you don't count furniture, you don't count jewelry, you don't count shoes, you don't count bags. I don't care what kind of designer bags you have. Because if you had to liquidate, y'all, you're going to get garage sale prices. That's all it is. They can talk a good game at the jewelry store, all of this stuff, unless you have some crazy, wild, antique painting that is worth a ton of money and you know you could sell it, don't count it. What I want you to count is your assets, even though they are depreciating assets. That's for another topic. I want your automobiles, your RVs, if you've got boats, motorcycles, real estate, your home, land, investments, those type of things. That's what I want you to count right now as your assets. We've already talked about your liabilities, and later on we'll talk about these financial report cards more in depth, but right now I'm just going to go through each one of these just kind of quickly. Okay? So, got your emergency fund, You've got your debt. You just created your net worth statement to see what you're worth. Now, some of you, don't be alarmed if you are in the negative. If you've got student loans or if you've got a lot of credit card debt, chances are whatever you bought with that credit card doesn't have an asset attached. So that's going to make your net worth negative. So let's just say if you had zero assets, zero cash in bank, let's just say, and you owe $30,000 on a student loan. Zero minus $30,000, you're going to be in the hole $30,000 because of that student loan. You don't have an asset to offset it. Make sense? So that's your net worth. Now, the next report card is critical. This is your cash flow statement. This is cash in and cash out. And I don't care how much income that you make, you can be poor and broke on $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month if your cash flow isn't correct. Your paydays may not be aligned with when you get paid. Your people may not be paying you on time. There's a bunch of different things that can cause you grief and cause you to have all these extra charges, causes you to bounce checks and have those $28, $30 insufficient fund things, have shut-off notices coming. Why? Because your cash flow is not in sync with your paydays. There's a way that we can get those in sync, but right now I want you to look at cash in, and I want you to list your different sources of cash. Remember, one of the major ways of growing wealth is to have multiple streams of income. Wages from an income is earned income, which is the most expensive kind of income, by the way, as far as taxes goes, but that's only one kind of income. We're going to work on increasing that so that you've got multiple streams of income over time. Why passive income? Because you want to put your money to work for you in such a way that one day your money is working so hard for you that you no longer have to work hard for your money. That is financial freedom, my friends. That's what the goal is for retirement, and to live life worth smiling and talking about. So you need to look at your last 90 days bank statements, and you need to see how many recurring subscriptions you have and put that in a category. Some of you are going to be surprised about how much little $5, $7, $10 things are coming out. You're going to be really surprised. So that's why I want you to pull that out separately. I want you to put your home and your utilities, just your mandatory items, on a list. Just the mandatory, just to keep the lights on, keep things going, okay? How much is that? Because that's going to be your financial freedom number. A little bit later on, we'll talk about that. So, your household expenses, I want all those subscriptions, and then I want all the extra stuff that you pay for. And I want you to keep receipts. I don't want you to do anything different, but for the next 30 days, I want you to keep receipts of every single dollar that you spend. This is going to help you with your spending plan a little bit later on. Every business has a budget, so we call it a spending plan. A budget is constraining, but a spending plan just means that you're going to tell your dollars from now on where to go. Every month, down to the penny, you're going to allocate and you're going to tell those dollars where to go, so that at the end of the month, you don't get up and wonder, where in the world did all those dollars go, right? It's so funny. Right now is tax season. We're beginning, everybody's wanting their tax returns. So this is a great time for you to get your affairs in order, spend the money that it takes to get yourself organized, because you're going to look down at that W-2 and wonder, how did I make all this money? What do I have to show for it? Chances are nothing. Another thing is you're letting the government borrow your money so you get a return. That is ridiculous. You need to learn to be a good steward of your money. And if you want a big return at the end of the year, you need to set your exemptions such that you don't owe Uncle Sam a dime, but that you are setting aside that money yourself into a savings or whatever it is that you're wanting to accomplish for the same thing. because Uncle Sam is not going to, do you any favors. You're giving them a loan all year long of your money. So, again, we are talking about let's set yourself up for success for 2025. Let's start working on all of those dreams that you have inside your heart. But before you start, you've got to lay that foundation. You have to find out where you are, and then we're going to talk about where it is, that vision that you're going to cast for your future, what you want it to look like. We're going to run our household like we run a business. Every single category is going to get attention. You're going to have love and passion in your relationships. Your income is going to grow. Your credit is going to improve. Your net worth is going to be improved. Your health, fitness, and nutrition, you're going to lose that weight that you have been dying to get off for a while. You're going to be in great shape. Your numbers are going to be good. That's what you want for your life, right? You're going to have a closer walk with Christ because you're going to be focused on your faith at some time. You're going to be able to look around and see random acts of kindness that you can do, how you can make an impact at the local level, at the regional level, at the national level, and at a global level, because you're going to focus and you're going to spend some time on that. You're going to figure out where it is or what God has put in your heart for you to do while you're on this earth. He has put something inside of all of us. We are to become disciples, yes, but there's a lot of other things we're here to do as well. So I hope this has been helpful for you today. Again, I hope you're like me and you are celebrating. I have a dream. I have a dream for you guys. I want y'all to have the absolute best year of your life. I want you to level up on every single category of your life, just like I'm trying for. And I can't wait to hear at the end of the year, at the end of each month, whatever, I want to hear how you're doing. I want to hear the obstacles that got in your way, and next month, what it is that you're going to do to prevent those obstacles from happening. So this is Nancy Gaskins, sowing seeds of hope and entrepreneurial opportunity in communities around the globe. Level Up 2025. Remember, this is the age of the golden era for the United States of America.